1/2 inch section down the middle, which will be used as our guide. And I wanted 2 inches, so I pulled this up. Before I start my guide, I look on my comb. I have 2 inches, so that's where I'm going to cut it at. Okay, so I got the start of 2 inches, and then basically what I'm going to do is just follow it straight down the head. And this is going to be my guide for the top. And the reason we do this, the next time he comes in, he wants it 2 inches, I can cut it exactly the same. Okay, so I have a 2-inch guide, 1/2 inch straight down the head. Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cut this in 2 panels, pulling everything straight up 90 degrees. Pull this up, I find my guide, I cut to the guide. And I'm just going to keep pulling this hair back, just cutting the one side, cutting it to the 2 inches. And we want to cut everything straight up. And what we want to think about here is that this is going to be just like a flat top. Okay, when you get to the back, if it starts down the head, go ahead and pull that hair up. We can get rid of a little bit there. So I did the one side. Now I'm going to come back, pull up the other side, find my guide, and I'm going to continue to cut straight across, 90 degrees up from the head. I'm going to crisscross. So I pick this up, a little bit of hair from the side, as long as it's going straight up, that's fine. We'll cut that off. And what I'm checking here is just to make sure that everything is perfectly even. I get to the back here. If I want to pull some of this hair up, I can do that too. So I did it one way, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull it up, come across doing the same way. Just checking everything straight up. I know that I basically wanted 2 inches on the sides also, so if I cut this as a balanced layered haircut and pull this straight out, it'll be 2 inches. So I find the hair from the top, and I cut vertical. And the reason that we cut vertical is we want everything to lay soft. Out of hair here on the side. And then basically what I want to do, I just watch around this way. I just want to go around the same path that I had, and I'm just going to check and make sure that I had everything even. So I'll just continue around the head, same panel that I did before, until I run out of hair again. Okay? And then we'll lay soft. Basically, when we're done with this, we're going to have our length. And then when we're done with this part, then we're going to work on making it softer. Okay, so now I'm just checking that same panel. Even though we want this very wispy, we want it very even. Same length all the way around the perimeter. So what I'm going to do is basically I'm going to take this and I'm going to roll it up. And the reason I roll it up is that's making this hair travel farther, protecting the bottom length. I'm going to roll it up, and I'm just going to check my whole perimeter here, make sure it's nice and even. Rolling it up. It's soft and blends into the hair. And what I like to texturize with, first off, is the razor. What the razor is going to do is give you a feathery edge, where the shear made it blunt. So the way we section this off is we're going to start in the middle. Again, we're going to cut vertical for softness. And what I'm checking for here before I use my razor is there's a bend in the hair. Never cut below the bend, whether it's with the razor, the scissor, or the thinning shear. So once I do that, very lightly with my razor, I pull the hair out. And so it's just a very thin amount of hair that comes out of there. Okay? So I'm going to do this panel, and I'm going to just lightly go over with the razor to about where the ear would be. And then when I get to that point, I'm going to come back. Okay, so I'm going to come back here. Okay, now I'm back to the center point. When I get to the center point, I'm going to do a panel just like I did on the other. My next section is going to be from the ear to the temple. What you want to be careful of is not to get this hair in there, so push that out of the way. And we're going to do it the same way, cutting vertical, just lightly going through it. Okay, and then just like take smaller sections and do it very lightly. Sometimes I do these same sections twice just to get rid of more bulk. Very lightly, go through the top. I do a section, I take a 1/2 inch, I pull some more hair down, and I continue to thin with it. After I do 2 sections, what I want to do is go across on it to make it softer. So I'm going to go across this way. Okay, once I've done that, then I'm going to start another section on the top, 1/2 inch wide, very light. If the client doesn't want it much thinner on top, you lighten it up a lot with the razor. You might just give it, 1 or 2 strokes on each section of hair. And when I cross-checked this section, I went this way. What I want to do now, I have this left to do. I don't want to keep doing those type of sections. Again, I want to cut this way so that I can make it softer. Especially in the bangs, you want them soft. You don't want a harsh bang. So, and a lot of times I'll even lighten the razor, the touch on it even more in the front. Just that I don't want to take a big piece out. So I do it across like this. And then, again, I'll check it coming back the other way. Okay, that looks pretty good, but what we want to do is check our haircut, and that's when we use the 4420. That's the only thing we'd use on a hair system is a 4420. It's a blending shear. And I'm going to take that, and I'm just going to cross-check it, just doing the same steps I did with the haircut. Cross-checking both ways. Okay. And then the important thing as we cross-check and check the sides is we need that hair to be very soft, very wispy, so it combs into the sides. If it's blunt or if it's too thick and it doesn't show through here, then you're going to get the line or you're going to get the separation from the hair, and it's not going to look like it's part of their own hair. So I come through here, I check it, I give it 1 on the ends. Check it, 1 on the ends. Okay, check over here. This is a good time too, when you do this roll up, we can check our bangs. If you notice, I never went and put a hard line in. I want these 2 inches. I see they're a little bit longer, so I'm actually going to take a little length off. I'm just going to roll it up again, take a little bit of that off. Okay. We're actually going to use the last 2 or 3 teeth on our thinning shear. We never want to go in like this and thin and have a lot of short pieces. We want soft, wispy pieces. So what I'm going to do is just pull the hair up, cutting with the last 2 or 3 teeth. I'm just going to pull out some hair. Okay? And we just go through it, lifting it up, softening it a little bit. If it was real thick in a spot, we might work that area a little harder. If this was on the client's head, I might want to comb this forward, see how it blends into their hair. If it wasn't blending real well, then I might pull this up and make it a little softer with the thinning shear. And I'll never get in trouble as long as I keep using those last 2 or 3 teeth. It'll be very soft using the last 2 or 3 teeth. So I just keep going around, checking the hair. Basically got the cleat. That is it. It's a nice layered haircut. Wherever he picks it up, it's the same. By doing the flat top, it's not longer on one side, shorter on the other. The basic premise of the cut, if we tip it.
Bald is beautiful, but what if it's you? At Keith's Hair Center, we understand.